Yes, sir. So we live right now. Former University of Tennessee basketball player, Big 6'8", Ron Slay, number 35. I see the 35 back there in the
Yes,
background.
sir.
Man, Ron, welcome to the show, big dog. Appreciate
I
you coming
appreciate
on.
it.
Man, it's an honor to have you on. And first thing I gotta ask you is, what was it like playing in Thompson Bowling Arena? What are the fans like there, and how does it feel playing on that floor in that arena.
Man, Thompson Bowling Arena, man, was amazing. Knowing that you're going out there, and at that time, we were playing in front of 25,000. So 25,000 people, the largest athletic basketball only arena in the nation. So when I first arrived there, um, at the top of TBA, they had the black curtains where you
Mm-hmm.
couldn't see the stands. So when it's a TV game, it's not packed out. It's about 10,000 people. They put the black curtains down, and you can't see anything. Man,
Mm-hmm.
my freshman year, after about 3 games in, they lifted them black curtains, and then they ended up taking them down about 6 games in because they was packing the house, man. And it wasn't nothing like it, man. It's like it's kind of similar to running through playing the Neyland Stadium, the football stadium, but on a smaller scale. You get to still same rowdy fans, people loving it. You feel them on top of you. It's nothing like it, man. I can't explain it no better. It's something that you really got to experience, especially now. The renovations that they did with the suites up there. I wish we would have had that. I probably would have been in the stands and everything on timeouts. Ain't no telling where I would have been. But
Yeah.
it was fun, man. It was fun.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I definitely want to experience that, and I've actually never been to a game, but that's something that I definitely want to do. And man, I know that last season you played. I think you were SEC Player of the Year. I think you
Mm-hmm.
averaged about like 21 points per game,
Yeah.
and let's see, the coach was Buzz Peterson. What was Buzz Peterson like? How did he coach y'all?
Well, Coach Peterson, man, at that time was brought in to be in a sense, a cleanup guy, disciplinarian in a sense, because he took over for Coach Green my first 2 years, and the fans and alumni really wasn't feeling how he came off to the general public. Coach Green, they felt he was letting us go wild, and um, wasn't a lot of discipline. And in a sense, they were right. I don't think it was more so the discipline, though. It was more so the structure, of things. We were out there playing off our talent. The assistant did a great job. But when Coach Peterson came in, he came in and kind of swept it and cleaned house. We ended up losing two players that really helped us out, Terrence Woods and Harris Walker. They transferred schools, and it was different. It was different because I remember sometime with Coach Green, we go out to practice and he'll roll the ball out and say, "We practice shirts and skins today." You know what I mean? We like, what? Oh, we getting at it. We're going back to the center with this then. You know what I mean? So that was fun. But with Coach Peterson, he instituted a different type of structure to our practice. It's kind of like the North Carolina system with him coming from North Carolina. You had the practice plan before coming out to practice. Had three things you had to remember: your offensive assignments, defensive assignments, and then a quote of the day. That everybody, he would call on anybody, randomly, and if you get it wrong, everybody got to get it on the line. So that was one thing that I think it made me pay more attention, a little bit more focus, and start treating it like a business in a sense.
Right.
Knowing that what he was bringing. And then also, he had the ties to Michael Jordan, so that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad either. That was Michael Jordan's best man in his wedding. So we look forward to seeing Mike at a couple of practices. I only saw him at one practice, but that was pretty cool to see. Him being a phone call away. But Buzz was a great, pretty good coach. Pretty good coach. More so as far as just keeping us on track. Not a big X and O guy. Gonna stick with what he knows and go with that and get the most out of it. But I can really say that he was a guy that I leaned on and a good guy.
Right. And let me ask you this: since you brought up North Carolina, did you ever watch the documentary? I know you saw it probably The Last Dance with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this though. Now I don't know. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but
Okay. No, I'm gonna answer.
who do you think between? Because it's been a lot of speculation. Everybody's talking about who's the GOAT. You know, a lot of people say LeBron James. A lot of people say Michael Jordan.
Right.
What's your opinion on who is the GOAT, or is there another player that you view as the GOAT? You know, in the NBA in the
I
past.
feel I feel both are goats in their own right. If I have to pick one, I'm putting Mike at the top. But I do think generations are different. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like you have the Dr. J fans and his generation when he came from the ABA to the NBA, and people forget about those ABA years. And he was the man. Like when Mike came along, they were like, "Who is this dude?" People said Jordan was better, like they're doing LeBron,
Mm-hmm.
and when the Dr. J fans weren't getting on their train, they can forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike came along. Magic is a goat in his own right. Larry Bird the same, but LeBron, I do believe for this generation,
Right.
we're doing as a goat, hands down. Like my kids, and kids, my son's 9, kids from 22 on down. They don't know LeBron James. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So the Last Dance does help a little bit by boosting Michael Jordan back up. But by the time we're old and getting ready to check on out of here and get out of the game, it'll be a LeBron thing. And then it'll be another one coming along. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see the kid, Imani Bates. He'll probably be the GOAT for that generation. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it varies from generation to generation. But if you ask me,
Yeah.
1 through 5, who I got, I mean, Mike. Mike is number one.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down, no question.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I know that. I think the NBA is about to get started again. I think they're about to. I think they're down in Orlando trying to get things cranked back up. So, you got a
Right.
favorite? Any team you think may go ahead and step up and win that thing, or what you think,
Listen,
man?
man. I'm rolling with. I don't have a team, but I'm rolling with the King. I'm rolling with the King every time. The King go to Cleveland, I'm going to Cleveland. Go to Miami, I'm going to Miami. Back to Cleveland, now you're in LA.
All
I'm
right.
rolling with LA. So
Okay.
I think it's gonna be good, especially when it gets down to the Final Four. Hopefully we get to see the Bucks, the Clippers, the Lakers, and it's a coin toss for that fourth spot with Houston, Denver. You never know who could emerge. Toronto, can't count them out, but Miami. There's some good teams out there, man. So we got to see what happens towards the end. Who can stay healthy? Who doesn't get the virus and all that?
Right.
They all play a part. So it's gonna be interesting, but I think the finals is gonna be really good if they get to have it.
Yeah, and like you said, if they get the virus, if somebody doesn't step out of the bubble, I think some
Yeah.
guys are gonna get claustrophobic just staying in there. I know I would. If you just, I don't think they can go anywhere. I think they just got to stick to the bubble.
Yeah, stick to the
So
script.
yeah. Well, let me ask you this, man. I know you met Coach Rick Barnes, man. What is he like as a man? Just period.
That right there, I think, says a lot. As a man, what do you think of him? He's a man's man. You know what I'm saying? As far as being a family man, family first. And this is me knowing him. I didn't know him when he was at Texas, Clemson, Providence, all these places, but knowing him at the University of Tennessee, he's a man's man, strong in his faith. Family comes first. That translates to the team and their image, their mirror of Coach Barnes. So I think everything you get to see of those players is a direct image of him. It's just like looking in the mirror. So that's what you get. On the court, you see the stern, the scowl, not taking no mess, quick trigger to pull you out of the game. But off the court, being able to have a relationship with him, and he's real comedic. Like, I mean, this man, any opportunity he get to tell a joke or make something funny, he's gonna take it, man. And it kind of leave you like, what does this old dude know about, this or that, what I mean? But he up on music, what I mean? He's in tune with what's going on in life, the social justice issues, just the human beings that he has coming into his program. I think everyone leaves a better person. You know what I'm saying? And people that come in contact with him. And that's difficult to say for a lot of coaches, because I've been a part of programs where coaches, you see them at practice, see them at film, see them at the game, and after all that's over, they go home. So you might have contact with the assistant coach or the director of player personnel or Dobo, but other than that, you don't see that coach that much, especially the head coach. this is a guy, man, that you can reach out, touch, call, be there for you. And that's for former players and his current players. So I got nothing but great respect for Coach Barnes. Love what he's doing and the energy that he's bringing. So hats off to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I think there was a Zoom call. It's like a lot of players
Yeah.
on that Zoom call. I think I caught some of that on there. I think somebody was talking about which team was the toughest team, or
Yeah. Yeah. And guess what? I'm telling him, like I tell him, listen, man, all your teams are cool and tough, dog, but y'all didn't want nothing with us. Now my freshman and sophomore year, dog, we had some animals. You know what I mean? We were straight off the chain, been in the cage, like this was. We were different, man. We were different. We were like, we're gonna give you a show. We're gonna talk crazy to you. We're gonna pack the gym. We're gonna beat them by 30. And if need be, we're gonna fight. You know what I mean? Like and that's what it is, man. Like we were family. You know what I mean? That's one thing I think that all the Tennessee athletics has, and I think that's why I got back to basketball being respected as it is, because he brought that family atmosphere back. You know what I'm saying? It was a little gap right there for a second after Cuzzo left, when they brought Donnie Tunnel in. It was kind of wishy-washy, but Rick Barnes came in and got hold of it.
absolutely. And I just want to say I like what he's doing, especially on the recruiting trail. I know
Yes.
he brought in like I think I got down here Jaden Springer, Keon Johnson, Corey Walker. I know that EJ Inosiki and I know Victor Bailey. I think he's coming
That's
in,
hurt.
and then I think a couple of guys from the football team. I think I heard wanted to get on the basketball squad. But
Yeah.
do you think that Pons is coming back? Because he was a great defensive player last year.
Yeah, he was. I think Pons excelled at the end of the season. He really came in his own, protecting the basket, being a guy that can guard multiple positions. I think he definitely is coming back. I think he could go to the league and test the waters. I think that's what it would be doing, is testing the waters. He has to come back, I believe, and polish up his offensive skill, being able to put the ball on the floor, more than 2 dribbles. That's what would be asked for him in the league. Even if he's not a primary guy that's scoring, you still got to be able to put the ball, get pitch it head, put it on the floor 2 times, get to the cup and finish. I think that's not his strength right now. And then also knocking down the shot consistently outside of 18 to 20 feet, you know. But all the other intangibles, running, jumping, the sense of defense, being able to block shots is huge, man. And I was a little skeptical early, you know, because he was weighing 35. I was expecting some more stuff out of him, but you know, he came on at the end. He's become one of my favorite guys. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna let him rock on 35, and it's all good. You know, I ain't gonna go repo it. I'm gonna let him have it. So
Absolutely.
I'm impressed with him. I'm impressed with Paul.
Yes, sir. Well, let me ask you this. I know that you guys were going to have a squad. I think it was called the Volunteers, and then I guess COVID did COVID, was that the reason why things got dialed down a little bit?
Yeah, we were more so going into it. We were hearing week by week different things that they were putting in place. As far as us having to be there 10 days early and then stay there in the bubble, and you know, everything's done at the hotel, which was cool. But I don't think everybody was on board with it at the time, so we didn't feel like going into it 75%, 85% of the guys that we had, with knowing that we can wait a year. We see we got the fans behind us. Wait a year, go into it 100%. Everybody's healthy. We ain't got no stipulations on it, and it'll be a little different because I think the team that we did gather, that Bobby put together, it was a team that was going to roll through it with Chris Laughlin, Kevin Palmer, and Scotty Hobson being the main scorers of their guys, and then the guys around them, Duke Cruz, Wayne Chisholm, Kenny, all the list goes on and on. So I think it was going to be a really good team, and they should look forward to it in the next year. I'm still coach. I'm going to get after it, you know what I mean? And if need be, I'm going to pull a Bill Russell. Take my sticks off and jump in the game for like 30 seconds. You know what I mean? That's going to be it. We look forward to it next year, though.
Hey, well, I tell you what, man, I would like to see that because can you still lace them up and play, big fella?
I lace them up every day at 6:15 in the morning. We got a group that we go with, you know what I mean? Got some pros that work out with us and train, and we always finish. We hoop, for about, I mean, we shoot and do individual drills for about an hour, and then the last 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how long the games last, we play pickup. So I'm still getting after it now. After the pickup, the day's over with. You know what I mean? Ain't no putting something else on the schedule or anything. Now it's ice, sit down, get smooth and relax. You know, my day is done. But you know what I mean? For that window, I can still get a game out of it. I can get a game right now.
Right. That's what you want, because I can see that 6'8".
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big fella. So
I stretch on out there shoot that three ball now. So they pump fake. That's game is very simple. Pump fake, get to the basket, finish, pass. You know what I mean? All the simple things. I ain't trying to do nothing fancy.
Yeah,
be efficient. That's my thing.
So what's new for Ron Slay? Like, I know you're doing the Boom Boom Room, man. Tell everybody what about your podcast and what you got going on there with the Boom Boom Room.
Well, the Boom Boom Room, man, it's spun off of my radio show, the Boom Boom Room, which I was doing during basketball season. But when the season ended, I actually had got on with a friend of mine, John Lucas, the third, down in Houston, and we were talking on Instagram, and people were tuning in and asking questions. So I was like, when we got off, let's cut this, and let's come back tomorrow night at a set time, advertise a little bit, and everybody came back and showed love. So I was like, man, I was trying to do this week in and week out. So I called Shamika Holsclaw, called John Henderson. We got a couple of people lined up. Ramon Foster, my brother, got him lined up to get on the show. And we talked there for about an hour. And it was really almost, in a sense, like sports therapy. You know what I'm saying? Talk about your journey, the obstacles you went through, and just giving information out, man, of how it is to make it. You know what I'm saying? And then not for everybody to know that it wasn't easy. You know, you see the finished product of people raising banners in Knoxville or winning championships in pro sports, but what about the journey that it took to get there? You know what I mean? How many times did you think about quitting? You know, so try to keep it reality based and down to the core of what they were feeling. You know, I had John Henderson on. He was talking about thinking about committing suicide after playing. So it gets deep, man. Like people got to tune in and check it out, man. Go to YouTube and watch the shows that they missed. They're on Ron Slay, type in Ron Slay 35, and the Boom Room comes up, and you can go check them out there, man. But it's something that I was just doing just to do it. But now it's called Steam, so I'm going every 2 weeks now. You know, I'm trying to build up, go back, put quotes, little gems that people have dropped on Instagram so they can tune in. But it's cool, man. And I'm having a good time with it because it's just talking. Mm-hmm. It's the same people I would be talking with, and you know, we giving the public a behind the scenes look, and I think that's something that you don't really get to see out of the athletes.
Yes, sir. I've been watching you, big fella, and I was gonna say there's one person I was gonna ask you. I actually had a long time ago. Just talking about a long time ago. Candace Parker.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, I'm just gonna say, has she been on the show?
She ain't been on the show yet.
Okay. She is beautiful, and I tell you what, man, I'm looking forward to seeing everything that you're gonna do. And do you plan on being a coach? Do you want to step into that arena?
Yeah, I've been coaching, finishing up. But it's difficult getting the college ranks. So I've been coaching now at the private school, Innsbruck High School, assistant coach Ricky Bowers, and had a good time doing that the last 3 years, getting my feet wet, trying to see how practices are run and what it's like to be able to, you know, call your own shots. So I was head coach of the JV this past year and had fun doing that, and it was eye-opening. You know what I mean? It's a little different when you can't, the same thing you're trying to transfer to these kids to get back them to do on the court. They don't really get it at times. And I'm a little frustrated, so I'm working on my temper, you know what I mean, being more patient and waiting on kids to get it. But it's fun, man. It's nothing like going back into kids and people that's trying to take the same route as you did.
Absolutely, Ron. I appreciate you coming on with me, man. It's been an honor. And man, keep 35 alive. That's all I gotta say.
You better know it, man. You better know all day, every day, man. All day, every day. I appreciate you having me, man. Keep doing your thing on this. Hey, anytime you need me, hit me up, man.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, Ron Slay.
Oh, man.